Good morning, all of you. Welcome to science class and welcome back to chapter 10 Soil Erosion Part 2. In this video, we are going to learn about soil erosion. Soil erosion is a serious problem of the environment today. Soil is formed by the actions of wind, water, and rain. These natural forces can also cause soil loss. The topsoil is fertile and which supports life. The process of carrying away of the topsoil by the natural forces such as water and wind is called soil erosion. Now let's learn about some agents of soil erosion. Water. When it rains heavily, a large amount of water flows with a force and washes away the top fertile soil. Then after that, subsoil comes to the surface. The rainwater carry the soil to the river and to the sea. Thus the soil is lost forever. The next agent is wind. During the summer season, soil crumbles to dust due to the sun's heat, and the topsoil of the desert or semi-desert area gets blown away easily by the strong winds, leaving the land barren. The winds also carry away the dry and loose soil to far off places. Another factor is deforestation. Cutting down of trees in large number in forest is called deforestation. It leads to soil erosion. When large stretches of forest land are cleaned for growing crops, raising livestock, or building industries, they are exposed to the natural factors. And devoid of the natural vegetation, the soil in these areas gets eroded by the wind and flowing water. Because earlier also we have learned that the roots of the plants and trees bind soil. It does not get the soil loosened, and when the forest or the trees are cleared off, the soil gets loosened and it is easily eroded by the wind or rain. Now, another factor is overgrazing. When animals like cattle, goats, and sheep graze on the same area of land again and again, they eat up most of the green grass and other plants. As a result, the soil becomes loose, and this loose soil can be easily carried away by strong winds and water. Now let's learn about the effects of soil erosion. Due to soil erosion, the topsoil loses its fertility. The less fertile subsoil comes into the place of topsoil. It comes to the surface, and as the time passes by, the fertile land slowly becomes barren. Land affected by soil erosion cannot hold plants in place. The soil loses moisture, mineral, and nutrients as it gets eroded. Crops grow in subsoil land do not give good yield. The quantity of food crops produced in such land is insufficient to feed the people in the nearby surroundings. Erosion can change the shape and size of the land. It can uproot the trees. It destroys the land surface, leading to landslide. A soil eroded land soon turns rocky. Land at higher levels gets flattened. It leads to flood, resulting in loss of life and property. Swiftly flowing rainwater loosens the topsoil. The topsoil moves along the rainwater and gets deposited in the river and lakes, and this process is called silting. The riverbed becomes less deep, and due to the deposition of the topsoil, thus force the river to change its course, and very often it also leads to flood. Now about the soil conservation, how can we conserve the soil? As we have already learned that the soil is the foundation of all the lives on the earth. Life is not possible without soil. So it is our duty, our first duty, to protect the soil from erosion. Nature took millions of years to form the soil, but by our carelessness, we can cause it to erode very quickly. Soil erosion makes the land infertile and useless for farming because plants can grow well only in fertile soil. Though we cannot stop natural forces like wind and water, but we can take steps to slow them down. The protection of soil against the erosion is called soil conservation, and this can be done in the following ways. How can we conserve the soil? First of all, by afforestation, planting of more and more trees. On a larger scale, in place of cut down trees is called afforestation, and growing more trees is the best method for preventing soil erosion. Trees and bushes act as a barrier against the strong wind. The leaves falling off the trees cover the soil below, and hence it prevents the soil erosion. Second, by making terrace farming. Cutting steps in the slopes of hills like this also helps to reduce the soil erosion. When water flows down, these steps reduce the speed of water. As the water flows down, the soil of one step settles down at the next step, and this reduces the amount of soil erosion. Cover crops. When the land is not being used to farming, it is good to grow some grass and some other plants. So these plants hold the soil particles together, and it helps to stop the erosion. It doesn't let the soil get loosened. This is called cover crops. Then prevention of overgrazing is the another method to prevent the soil erosion. Overgrazing by the cattle can be prevented. More area should be brought under grass and pastures be developed for the grazing of animals like cow, goat, sheep, etc. So that's all in this chapter. Thank you.